I'm Jo Clark, and thanks so much for joining me today. This is the Redefining Midlife podcast, a podcast designed for the 40-plus woman who is determined to challenge society's myths and beliefs around midlife. It's for the woman who is inspired and ready to define midlife her way. Join me each week as I chat to health and wellness experts for up-to-date information on how to live well, as well as some special conversations with incredible everyday women redefining what midlife can look like. Here's to making our next half of life even better than the first.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Redefining Midlife. Thanks so much for joining into today. Now, I think it would be a fair bet to say that each and every single one of you listening would rather be well and full of energy now and into the future, rather than being sick or low on energy. But if we lead really busy lives, how on earth do we make time for healthy habits? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of habits and in particular, micro habits. Now, experts agree that health and wellness isn't about making just one life-changing decision. In fact, it's about the 60 or more small decisions that we make every single day. And for better or worse, these tiny changes can actually lead to huge shifts in our lives and whether we live well or not. Now, I can honestly say for me, adding micro habits into my day over time changed my life, and it's changing the lives of the women that I coach and mentor. And I'm really excited to be sharing more about this with you today, about how and the why micro habits work, so that you too can harness the power and hopefully change and improve your life as well. Now, what sets micro habits apart from larger habits is simply their simplicity, how easy they are to actually integrate into our daily lives. Now, if we think of traditional habits, many of those actually require a large investment of time and effort. But micro habits focus on small, achievable steps. In fact, often the smallest of steps. So it means you're going to be less likely to resist doing it or waste time faffing about. Now, picture micro habits as these teeny tiny actions or routines that we do on the daily. We're talking really small stuff here, like taking some small mindful breaths as soon as we wake up, or drinking more water during the day, or taking a short walk during your lunch break. Now, the beauty of micro habits lies in their simplicity. They're so small that they seem almost insignificant, but don't be fooled by their size. Because those little actions, what they do is they pack a punch when it comes to creating lasting change. It's kind of a bit like building a house brick by brick. Each tiny habit will lay the foundation for a healthier, happier you. And because they're so bite-sized, they're super easy to integrate into your day-to-day life. There's no need to carve out a huge chunk of your day for a new habit. Just a few minutes here and there is what can and will make a difference. So why do micro habits work so effectively? Well, basically, it comes down to the principle of behavioral psychology. By breaking down or having some bite-sized actions, we actually make them more manageable and less daunting. And our brains just love patterns and routines. When we repeat a behavior over and over again, it becomes ingrained in our neural pathways. And that's where micro habits come in. By starting small and building consistency, we're essentially rewiring our brains for success. Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about checking off those tiny little tasks on our to-do list. It's kind of like a little victory dance every time we complete a micro habit. And that feeling of accomplishment fuels our motivation to keep going. Our brain loves seeing success. And did I mention the snowball effect? Yep, those small little wins, they actually add up over time and they lead to bigger and better habits down the road. Now, this year, I've introduced easy monthly micro habits challenges with the Women in My Better Than Before membership. So, for example, last month, we had a hydration challenge. And why? Well, it's summer, of course, so we need to drink water and more of it. But it was really because of this simple health fact. Did you know that 80% of Australians suffer from the symptoms of dehydration, and the majority don't even recognise or realise what those key symptoms are? Well, the women in BTB all drink water, so this was already feeling like it's going to be a simple one that we could implement. It was more about just adding a target amount of water to drink each day and then simply checking off every time you had that glass of water. Over the month, we all became far more mindful and intentional, and we stayed hydrated or close to it, day after day, week after week, slowly adding that little habit into our daily routine. So now that you understand what this concept is, let's talk about how you can dip your toes into the world of micro habits. Well, first things first, just keep it simple. Now we're talking baby steps here. Pick one tiny habit you want to adopt and start there. Maybe it is as straightforward as drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, or perhaps doing a quick meditation before bed. Next, make it super easy to do. And I'm talking so easy that you can't say no. You could set up a specific time and a trigger for your micro habit, like right after you brush your teeth, or as soon as you sit down at your desk, when you lay down in your bed. Now, the key is to make it as automatic as possible so you don't even have to think about it. And remember, consistency is the key. It's not about doing it perfectly every single time. It's about showing up and just simply doing the darn thing, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Trust me, those small, consistent actions are going to add up faster than what you think. Now, this month in BTB, we're working on adding more plant foods to the meals we eat each day. The fact is, we've all got to eat. So it's as simple as adding, and as basic as adding a layer of intention and awareness around what we actually put in our mouths. Now, the ladies have got all the information and resources they need at the start of the month, and then all they have to do is just add different plant foods to their meals throughout the day and week. So the ladies are becoming more aware of what they can add to their meals each day and improve the wellness pillar of nutrition. And over the month, they work towards meeting the target, and by the end, we're going to have another micro habit added to their wellness menu. So let's talk about the benefits of incorporating these tiny habits into your life. First of all, they're kind of like a gateway to bigger and better habits. Seriously, once you start nailing those micro habits, you begin to feel unstoppable. They build confidence and they build momentum, and it makes it easier to tackle your more ambitious wellness goals that you might have down the line. Plus, breaking down things into small, achievable, bite-sized chunks doesn't feel as overwhelming. And let's not forget the mental health benefits. Practicing micro habits can reduce your stress, it can boost your mood, and it can increase your overall health and well-being. So not only do they pave the way for larger lifestyle changes, but they also cultivate things like discipline, resilience, and self-awareness. So just by mastering the art of small incremental improvements, we're able to set ourselves up for long-term success. So if I use again the ladies in BTB as an example, not only will they be working on and achieving their own personal health and wellness goals by the end of this year, they will have also added an extra 12 simple micro habits to their life. Now, it doesn't matter how busy you are or who you are, there are countless micro habits out there that will have your name on it. So now that you know more about micro habits and what they are, just start to think about all of the small micro habits that you've got already. Think about, are they improving, supporting, or are they hindering your health? If you aren't sure, then pick a typical day in your life and ask yourself this really simple question. If you repeated this day for 100 days, would your life be better or worse? Now, most people know what they should be doing because there's absolutely no shortage of information out there in the world telling us what we should be doing. The biggest issue comes with implementing and with the accountability of doing the actual habit. And that's what causes most people to fail. So let's talk about the magic that happens when you throw group dynamics to the mix. See, we humans, we're all social creatures by nature. We thrive on connection and community. And that's where group micro habits come in. When you join forces with like-minded individuals, you're not just holding yourself accountable, you're tapping into a whole network of support and encouragement. It's kind of like having your own personal cheerleading squad cheering you on every single step of the way. Plus, there's something incredibly motivating about knowing you're not in it alone. When you see others reaching their goals and making progress, it kind of lights up a fire and it steps up your game. Let's not forget the power of friendly competition. A little bit of healthy rivalry can push you to above and beyond what you thought was possible. So whether it means that you're joining a fitness challenge with your gym buddies or you're embarking on a wellness journey with a friend or a partner, just know there's incredible strength in numbers, because together you're going to achieve far more than you ever could on your own. So this is exactly what's happening in Better Than Before. The ladies are embarking on a journey of personal growth and wellness together. By participating in micro habit challenges, as well as working towards and reaching their own personal wellness goal, they're able to leverage the power of accountability and support. Now, this has been a super short little episode for you, but what I want to do is to leave you with one thought. Change doesn't happen overnight. It starts with one single step. So whether you're embarking on your own micro habit journey or you're looking for a supportive community to join you on your wellness goals, I'd really love you to consider joining Better Than Before. In our special community, you'll not only have access to monthly micro habit challenges, but so much more, including the support and accountability of a group of like-minded women who want to feel well and live a long, healthy life. Investing in your health now is going to pay huge dividends in the future. So to learn more or to join BTB, just head to the link in the show notes. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, let's all embrace the power of micro habits and take one step closer to becoming the best versions of ourselves in this second half of life. Until next time, keep striving for progress, one micro habit at a time.
Thanks so much for listening and sharing your time with me today. I'd love you to hit subscribe on Apple Podcast or your favorite podcast app to keep spreading these empowering messages. Please share this podcast with other incredible midlife women in your world. Join me again next week for another redefining midlife conversation. Thanks again for tuning in.